Hello again, I'm Old Sneelock. Welcome to another episode of Old Sneelock's Workshop. I'm out here in the tractor garage and I have a new resident that I want to show you. This is a grindstone. It actually has bearings in it, although only one of them is really there. The other one's pretty much gone to the wind. This one needs to be replaced. That one absolutely has to be replaced. And there's several other parts that are missing, but nothing that I can't fabricate. I'm kind of fascinated with this little guy here. This is a bearing that goes on the end of the crank, and it's a riveted accessory, which I think I can disassemble the rivets, install a new bearing, and bring it back to life again. Whether I can duplicate it for the one on the other side remains to be seen, because this one is missing. The thing I was really interested in getting was the frame. Now I could make a frame, but standing in an antique shop, taking measurements and doing close-up pictures, people tend to get a little reticent about letting you come back. So I thought best thing to do would be to get an original like this one and just take my measurements here at my leisure. Now, it's amazing how much baling wire there is in the world. And it's been used ever since baling wire was invented as a means of securing anything and everything. I personally don't like baling wire as a method to fix things. Unless, of course, I'm baling hay. It needs a new seat. It needs one new treadle. It needs a bearing. It needs another bearing on this. So there's going to be quite a bit of work to do on it. This is going to be a long-term project, but we all love those. Also, once I get it up and spinning, this stone has the problem that most stones have. Nobody ever trued them up. They just ground and ground and ground and ground on them. Particular grade of sandstone that worked well for grindstones, and for several, I don't know, at least decades, possibly hundreds of years, they took sandstone out of that area and turned it into grindstones. Sandstone has a problem. It's not consistent. It's not homogeneous. Some parts are harder than others. So the hard parts don't wear away as well as the soft parts. You want to have sandstone that is very consistent and that wears away as soon as the grains get dull. It's kind of a bond strength issue. If it's not, the hard spots don't wear as deeply. Like this high spot here is a spot where the stone is harder, and it doesn't wear away as well as it does in the low spots. You really want to have it wear away consistently, because that determines how sharp the stone is. A soft stone cuts hard steel because it's sharp. The dull grains, as soon as the bond strength is exceeded, the dull grains pop out and you're left with sharp grains which cut faster. That means the low spots actually cut better than the high spots. If your stone is inconsistent, you end up with this out around egg-shaped thing. Now on a hand grindstone, not so much of a problem. You can kind of float the thing that you're doing on it and it doesn't bother a whole lot. On a power grinder, like a surface grinder, you really need to have it consistent, because the power grinder has got the wheel fixed at a certain point and the object being ground fixed at a certain point, and the two really need to be consistently in the same spot so that you can advance at a normal rate and do a good job of cutting. But this is a natural stone, so I'm probably going to have to go through and round it up. And to do that, I'll take a diamond, which I seem to have quite a few of over the years in working with grinding machines. Diamonds, a 3-carat diamond is not an uncommon thing to have to dress a grinding wheel, and I have a couple of them. As soon as they get a little bit dull, we took them out of operation on the machine, because you really want to have the grindstone sharpened quickly and go on and do your job. But when I'm doing it by hand here at the shop, I can compensate. Kind of like when you're compensating when you're grinding your axe on this old lumpy grinding wheel. My goal is to use the diamond dressing point to take out the oscillation on the grindstone so that I don't have to use quite so much compensation when I'm grinding something on it. We'll just have to see how that works. If you have any suggestions for a new video, questions about today's video, or any of the other videos on the channel, just drop a note in the comments. You know I read them all. Thanks for watching. Comments are always appreciated. If I've done it right, tell your friends. If I've done it wrong, share the joke. If you'd like to continue, over here's my latest upload. And over here is a video that YouTube has picked out especially for you. If you want to click on this button up here, that'll subscribe you to the channel. And please, don't forget to click the like button.